Welcome back to Jamyy. English, I'm Jayz.
And I'm Amy. We have spent this week telling our stories in English, hometown, childhood, family, work, habits, passions. Today we talk about something that threads through all of it.
Friendship.
The people you choose to keep in your life, the ones who are not family by blood, but feel like family by history.
Talking about friendship in English is something that comes up constantly in social settings, and it is a topic where a little depth goes a long way.
Because most people can talk about what their friends do, far fewer can talk about what their friendships actually mean to them.
Today we give you the language for both.
Let's start with the basics. How do you describe your friendships to someone who does not know you?
I tend to have a small number of very close friends and a larger circle of people I like and enjoy but am not deeply close to. The inner circle has maybe 4 or 5 people. We have known each other in some cases since high school. In other cases, we met as adults and became close quickly.
I am similar in structure, but different in geography. My closest friends are scattered. One in Shanghai, one in Singapore, one in London, one here in the city I live in now.
That phrase, as if no time has passed. That is one of the most important phrases in friendship vocabulary.
It describes a specific kind of bond, one that does not require maintenance through constant contact.
Some friendships need regular attention to survive. Others can go 6 months or 2 years and pick up exactly where they left off.
Both kinds are real, both are valuable, and being able to describe which kind you have is useful.
Useful phrases for describing friendship structure. I have a small inner circle and a wider social network. Most of my close friends I have known for many years. I tend to form friendships slowly, but they run very deep. I make friends easily, but close friendship takes me longer. My best friend and I met completely by accident, and it changed everything.
Now let's talk about how friendships form, because the story of how you met a close friend is always interesting.
My closest friend Marcus and I met in the water. We were both surfing the same break. We kept being in the same place at the same time, and eventually we just started talking. That was 14 years ago. We have barely stopped talking since.
That origin story is simple and completely specific to you. No one else has that story.
And it says something about where my life is lived in the water, around people who share that.
My closest friend Wei and I met in a design workshop when we were both 22. We were assigned to critique each other's work. She told me very directly that my color choices were timid, and she was right. I respected her immediately for saying what she thought.
So, a friendship born from honest feedback.
Which tells you something about what I value in a friend, someone who will tell me the truth.
Friendship origins stories are revealing precisely because they show you what brought 2 people together and what kept them together.
Useful phrases for talking about how a friendship formed. We met through blank and just clicked. It started as a professional relationship and became something more. We bonded over blank, which sounds strange, but it was exactly that. She was the person I called during a difficult time, and she showed up, and that was it. We were thrown together by circumstance and turned it into a choice.
That last one is particularly nice. Thrown together by circumstance and turned it into a choice. That is what most adult friendships are.
Now let's talk about what makes a friendship work. The qualities that sustain a close bond over time.
Honesty. For me, I need friends who will tell me when I am wrong. Not cruelly, but clearly. I have no interest in being surrounded by people who only affirm me.
For me, it is reliability, not availability all the time. That is not realistic, but the knowledge that if something is genuinely important, this person will be there. That fundamental dependability is what I build on.
Those are 2 different things, but both essential.
What other qualities come up in English conversations about friendship?
Loyalty, the sense that someone is on your side even when they disagree with you. They can tell you you are wrong and still be in your corner.
Shared history, the accumulated weight of time and experience together. Inside jokes, shared references, the shorthand that develops between people who have known each other long enough.
Acceptance, the feeling that you do not have to perform or manage how you are perceived. You can be tired or confused or wrong, and it is fine.
That last one is the most precious, and also the rarest.
Useful phrases for describing what makes a friendship work. What I value most in a friend is blank. The thing that has kept us close is blank. She is the kind of friend who blank. With him, I never feel like I have to blank. What I trust most about our friendship is blank.
Now let's talk about the different kinds of friends people have.
The friend from childhood, the friend from university, the work friend, the friend you met through another friend, the friend who exists in one specific context and might not survive outside it.
That last category is interesting and real. The colleague you have lunch with every day who you have never actually seen outside the office.
Or the neighbor you genuinely like but have never made plans with.
Context-dependent friendships are a real phenomenon, and English has language for them.
We are work friends implies a warmth that exists within that context. She is someone I know from university can mean anything from close friend to person whose name you remember.
And then there is the we are friendly construction, which means we like each other, we would greet each other warmly, but we are not close.
The spectrum from acquaintance to close friend has many gradations in English.
Acquaintance, friendly acquaintance, someone I know, someone I like, a good friend, a close friend, a best friend. Each level carries different weight.
Useful phrases for navigating that spectrum. She is someone I know from blank. We are friendly but not close. He is a good friend. We see each other regularly. She is one of my closest friends. We have been through a lot together. He is my oldest friend. We go back 20 years. She is someone I trust completely.
Now, let's talk about maintaining long-distance friendships, because many people's closest friends are not physically near them.
This has become more universal with how much people move for work and life. You might have a childhood friend in another country, a university friend on another continent.
My friendship with Wei is entirely long distance now. We text regularly, nothing obligatory, just things we want to share. We have a video call every few weeks. When we are in the same city, we spend as much time together as we can.
And what sustains it?
Genuine interest in each other's lives. Not just updates, but curiosity. I want to know not just what happened to her, but how she felt about it, and she is the same with me.
That distinction between updates and curiosity is important. Anyone can exchange facts. Genuine interest in meaning and feeling is what sustains depth.
Useful phrases for talking about long-distance friendship. We are not in the same city, but we stay in close touch. Distance has not affected us as much as I feared it might. We have a rhythm that works. It does not require us to be in constant contact. When we finally see each other, it is as if the distance was never there.
Now let's talk about something more difficult. Friendships that have ended or changed significantly.
Because losing a friend or watching a close friendship fade is a real and often painful experience.
And one that people do not always have language for. We have scripts for romantic loss, far fewer for friendship loss.
We drifted apart is the most common phrase, and it describes something real. Life changes, people move, priorities shift, and two people who were once very close find themselves increasingly distant without any single dramatic cause.
We had a falling out describes a more specific rupture, a conflict or moment that broke something.
And then there is the friendship that simply transformed people who were very close at one stage of life and are now friendly but no longer intimate. The friendship did not end. It changed into something smaller.
Useful phrases for friendships that have changed. We drifted apart after blank. We had a falling out years ago and never fully recovered. We were very close at one point and now we are friendly but not what we were. Life just took us in different directions. I miss who we were to each other.
That last one. I miss who we were to each other. That is very honest and quite beautiful.
It acknowledges the loss without placing blame on either person.
Now let's talk about making new friends as an adult, because this is something many people find genuinely difficult and are relieved to have language for.
Making friends as a child is almost automatic. You are thrown together with other children and proximity plus time does the work.
As an adult, you have to be much more intentional. You have to create the opportunities, show up consistently, and take the small social risks involved in moving from pleasant to close.
One of those risks is simply being the one who suggests plans. We should get coffee sometime is not a plan. Are you free? Thursday, there is a place I have been wanting to try is a plan.
The specificity of the invitation signals genuine interest.
Another risk is showing some vulnerability, not oversharing with someone you barely know, but letting them see something real about you. Slightly earlier than feels comfortable.
Because if you wait until you are completely comfortable to be yourself, you never get to the point where you are comfortable.
Useful phrases for talking about adult friendship making. I find it harder to make close friends as an adult than I expected. I have been intentional about investing in new friendships since blank. I met her through blank and made a point of following up. I think the key is consistency, showing up for the same thing over time. It takes longer, but when adult friendships form, they tend to be quite solid.
Now, let's practice a full conversation. Jayz, tell me about one person in your life who is important to you.
Marcus, we met surfing 14 years ago. He is one of those people who tells you exactly what he thinks, but in a way that you know is coming from care, not judgment. He showed up at my dad's funeral and did not say much, but he was there. I have not needed him to say much since then because that showed me everything I needed to know.
That answer covers how you met, what you value in him, and a specific moment that defined the friendship. No adjectives, all actions.
Actions are more honest than adjectives.
My turn. We met criticizing each other's design work at 22. She is the most direct person I know and somehow also the most kind. She is in Singapore now. We go months without a long conversation and then have one that goes 4 hours. She is the person I call when I need to think something through, not because she gives advice, but because she asks the question.
Both of those descriptions are specific, warm, and reveal something about each of us.
That is exactly the goal.
Vocabulary review for friendship structure. Inner circle, close friend, someone I trust completely. We go back many years. Friendly, but not close.
For how friendships form, we just clicked, bonded over blank, thrown together, and turned it into a choice. She showed up, and that was it.
For what sustains friendship, reliability, honesty, shared history, acceptance, genuine interest in each other's lives.
For long-distance friendship, we have a rhythm that works, as if no time has passed. Distance has not affected us as much as I feared.
And for friendships that have changed, we drifted apart, had a falling out, miss who we were to each other. Life took us in different directions.
The people you choose say as much about you as the people you were born to. Talk about them with the specificity and warmth they deserve.
Thank you for listening today.
We will see you tomorrow on Jamyy English.
Let's also talk about friendships across cultural difference, because for many people who live or work internationally, some of their closest friendships are cross-cultural.
These friendships require an extra layer of curiosity and patience, and they offer something in return that same culture friendships often cannot.
They show you the edges of your own assumptions.
Exactly when a close friend does something you find surprising, and you realize the surprise is cultural rather than personal, it opens something up.
I have a friend from Brazil, Ricardo, who I met through work. His style of friendship is much more physically expressive than mine. A lot of physical contact, close proximity, intensity of engagement. It took me a while to understand that this was not pressure.
And I imagine he had his own adjustments to make with you.
Definitely. He told me once that Americans keep a very large, invisible bubble around themselves, and he found it lonely at first. Now we have found a middle ground that feels natural to both of us.
Cross-cultural friendship requires that kind of negotiation, not as a problem-solving exercise, but as a natural part of learning.
Useful phrases for talking about cross-cultural friendships. Our friendship taught me a lot about blank. She comes from a very different background, and it has broadened how I see things. We have had to navigate some differences in how we each approach blank. He has shown me things about my own culture that I never noticed before.
Now let's talk about the role of humor in friendship, because shared laughter is one of the most important elements of any close bond.
The jokes only you two understand. The running references, the things that would take 20 minutes to explain to someone else but make you both fall apart in 2 seconds.
Inside humor like that is a form of shared language. It is intimacy compressed into a phrase.
We and I have a shorthand phrase that came from something that happened 8 years ago. If either of us says it, we both immediately know exactly what the other person means. It would be impossible to explain to anyone else.
That compressed shared history is one of the most valuable things a long friendship creates.
Useful phrases for talking about friendship, humor. We have this running joke that blank. She is the funniest person I know. She makes me laugh every time. Our friendship has its own private language at this point. We can be completely ridiculous together, which is very freeing.
Now let's talk about the friends who challenge you, because the best friendships are not always the most comfortable ones.
The friend who tells you when you are making a mistake, who refuses to just agree with you, who asks the question you have been avoiding.
That kind of friendship requires trust to work. You can only receive hard truth from someone you believe is entirely on your side.
Wei is that kind of friend for me. She once told me that I was using a creative block as an excuse to avoid something that scared me. It was uncomfortable to hear and completely accurate.
And how did you receive it?
Not well immediately, but within a day I knew she was right. And the fact that she said it meant she was paying real attention.
That is what distinguishes a truly close friend from a pleasant one. The willingness to pay that kind of attention and say something difficult because they care about your actual well-being.
Useful phrases for friends who challenge you. She is the person who tells me what I need to hear rather than what I want to hear. He pushes back when I need it, and I trust him completely because of it. Our friendship is not always comfortable, but it is always honest. She shows love by taking me seriously.
She shows love by taking me seriously. That is a phrase worth writing down.
Friendship at its best is a form of sustained attention to another person, and expressing that in English with the specificity it deserves is one of the most humanizing things you can do in conversation.
Talk about your friends today, with their names, with the details of how you met and what you love about them.
That is the practice.
We will see you tomorrow.